In this video, we are looking at the applications of ICT in the field of education. So we have computers aiding students through CAI or computer aided instruction and CAL or computer assisted learning. Computer aided instruction takes these three forms: drills, which allow students to practice concepts. So you can think about, for instance, in mathematics, where you learn something like maybe Pythagoras' theorem, or you are learning trigonometry, and you need to do a lot of questions to get better. That's the only way you can learn math. So drills, online drills, allow you to practice different topics through many questions being available. Then we have tutorials where students are presented with material, but they can go through the material at their own pace. They don't have to keep up with everybody else in class. So that's really good for students who need to go maybe a little bit slower, and even students who need to go a little bit faster. Students can also repeat a lesson if they don't understand it. So for instance, these videos can actually be tutorials because you can listen to them as many times as you would like. Simulations or what if analyses using all these different types of multimedia. So you can think maybe about experiments where it may be even dangerous to do something in the lab. So you use a simulation to see what would happen under different circumstances. Then we have reference information. But first, a little note about computer-assisted learning. While computer-aided instruction refers to these three things here in the bullet points, computer-assisted learning is really all the different ways that computers can help people learn. So that could also be reference information. So we know that the internet especially has a huge amount of information. Not all of it might actually be true or relevant to you. So you have to be very careful about which websites you are getting your information from. Now, we know about Wikipedia, and we know that it's not the most reliable source of information because it can be edited by anyone. But really and truly, any information on the internet can be edited. So who can you really trust? Well, there are certain websites that we could consider to be trusted sources based on the content that you are trying to learn. In addition to information being available on the internet, we also have encyclopedias that are available on CD-ROMs. So in case you don't have internet access, you can still research information. Another thing about information online is that you have to be very careful whether you are looking at actual facts or people's opinions that may appear on websites that present themselves as though they are true and correct things, but in fact they are not. So again, information is out there, but you have to be super careful. Then we have distance learning, which is a really great aspect of ICTs in education. This means that you don't actually have to attend a class in order to learn. You can do so from the comfort of your home. This can also be used for students who may be living in very remote areas, or they may be isolated somehow, maybe bridge broke down, they can't get to school, they can still learn. So it's mentioned here that UWI has their distance learning center where students access course material over the internet and use video conferencing and so on so that you can have live lectures taking place. In addition, you can do courses and programs from universities abroad such as MIT and Harvard and a lot of different other universities offer online courses. So you can be right here in Trinidad and be doing a degree from a different university. There's also something called blended learning, which a lot of places are using now. That means you go to some classes at a school or in a building somewhere, and other classes you actually take online. So lots of different places are using this blended learning as well. So that's it for education. Now, these are just the examples of how ICTs are used, but what you should really be thinking about as well are what are the advantages and disadvantages of ICTs in this field of education.